Welcome to BigBiddness.
Hey Rab, what you cooking up?
BigBiddness.
Yo. Welcome to episode 2 of BigBiddne Podcast. You got your 3 favorite hosts, me, Matt,
JT, and to introduce our 3rd host.
Pat.
It's your boy Drippy, man. Drippy Pat. Go ahead.
And today we got a special interview. It's a famous person in our side of town. He got a special story. Overcame many obstacles and always found a way to win. He came over the highs and lows of life and always found a way to persevere. He has a long list of accomplishments. 2014 state championship MVP at North Shore.
Oh yeah.
That shit is
Signed and played at SMU out of high school, 2015 through 2019, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Founder of JF Elite Basketball and 10 Apparel. Just completed his first year and his final year in the G League. Jarrey Foster.
Easy. What's good? You know it. You know we in the game, man. Shout out BigBiddne, man. I appreciate y'all allowing me to be on and tell the story a little bit, man, and kind of blend experiences. But we putting on for the East and just telling the story. So,
Now that we introduced you a little bit, like for the people that really don't know you, tell them about your upbringing, where you came from, and basically about you, the person, besides basketball.
yeah, for sure. I'm born and raised in Houston. Moved around in many places, but from Northside, Scenic Woods, Homestead, Tidwell. But moved to the East Side at a very young age, and kind of just became planted there. But once I kind of grew up there, started getting into sports, Little League, you know how that go on the East Side. We used to get at it.
Yeah.
Football, rack basketball.
Everybody know about that rack.
You got to start at a young age. Real talk.
Exactly. But grew up in a single family household, but very close knit family. But I'm blessed, thankful. I'm in a family of 4 siblings. Myself, I'm the youngest. 2 older sisters and an oldest brother. But my mother is a starship of our family and just got us to a good point where we can take everything where we need to go. But East Side raised, East Side made, man, and just made a lot of my story, my situation.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Yeah.
So let me go ahead and ask you a question. So when did you realize you had a passion for basketball? Yeah, that's my
Man, so basketball at a young age was like, I kind of just had the ball in my hand always. But I eventually went to football and played that for a few years. So I would say basketball was like in my life at age 5, but then I went to football for a little bit and then picked up basketball again like around 7th grade.
Right.
And that's when I made the lead decision like, okay, I can actually become something with basketball if I actually like put some time into it. So
definitely.
it's just a little bit later in the basketball world, but I always had the ball in my hand.
Right.
You feel me?
Yeah, I see what you're talking about though, definitely.
Yeah.
Growing up on the East Side, like, that's a predominantly football strong area. If anybody knows about North Shore, like, that straight football country.
Yep.
How did you find that, like, that drive for basketball, even though you're growing up in a football ran town?
And this has always been a trait of mine, is not necessarily doing the opposite of what everybody's doing, but creating my own path and creating and blazing my own trail. And that was the thing I did with basketball. So like playing Little League football, I actually played 9th grade for like 1 game, broke my wrist, and I was like, I knew I should have just went basketball. But North Shore had the opportunity of a lifestyle to enhance athletics, not just from a football standpoint, but we can branch out to basketball point. And then I saw the people that was around me, that if we developed together and we played at a high level, like we could do something with basketball. So along with myself, my development, my growth, and making that decision to play basketball, it just blended in with the other people that just happened to be there, and we made something of it. Right. So I don't take full credit for that decision. And and the results that came out of it. But I'm just thankful that I had the mindset to go a different route and make something of my own story.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
All right, before we jump into that, Pat, go ahead and get your question out. Because I do want to ask about that high school thing. Right?
Nah, it's crazy because you took the same question I was just about to ask him.
Go ahead then.
But what I would say, what was that kill motive that you had, like that you say that just kind of took your game over to the next notch, like that had you hit that one step over your competitor?
Yeah, it was a hunger. Because even before the injuries became the reason why I wanted to push after a while. But before the injuries, to even get to a point where I could play in college, it was just a hunger to get out of my situation. You know what I'm saying? And just like see something different, see different experiences, travel the world, and see where the ball could take me. So that hunger came like, man, this ball can do so much for you if you just put the energy into it.
Right.
So that's me walking to the wire every day, competing and playing at a higher level, playing with the older guys, you know what I'm saying, getting bumped up a little bit. But you got to take those growing pains, but that's what's create the killer in you. You know what I'm saying? So, now that's really what it was, Pat. It was just like, man, I saw opportunity, and God gave me the blessings to just like grow and push with it. So, man, I took it and ran with it.
Took it and maximized it.
You know?
So let me go ahead and ask you this question. So take us through that state championship you won in high school.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
How was the feeling? Because like Matt said, MVP, and I remember, bro, you was going crazy as hell. I was like, man, this is crazy. Oh, man.
No, for real.
For sure. So yeah, man, just take us through that state championship, bro.
Yeah, no, I was starting sophomore year because we played with Jonathan Motley, and we lost to Bush, and that was Kelly Oubre and that whole squad.
Yeah, exactly.
So once we got over that year, that was my sophomore year going to my junior year. That summer, I ain't never worked so hard to like take a big leap because that was my first year on varsity, and I knew I had to play a bigger role the next year. So I took a big leap that summer, became like top 5 player in Houston, and then what happened was I manifested, and I'm gonna shoot y'all a video after this. I manifested winning the state championship. So this is where the spirituality comes into like sport. But manifested the state championship, and then Coach Green just gave me the opportunity to play the 5. So like, I played guard in AAU. You know what I'm saying? That's my natural position. But playing the 5 position because we had Snoop, Brandon, Jalen, and Brandon Green. So it's like, I had to not necessarily take a back seat, but do something different and play a role that I necessarily didn't want to, but it eventually helped me in the future.
Exactly, yeah.
So, but that whole run, man, like that team was just amazing. Went 35-3, lost 3 games to 3 really good teams, but the playoff run, man, we were just clicking. Like
I remember that.
Nobody could beat us. Our trap like was crazy, and personally for me, I just was like, just play basketball and have fun.
Yeah.
And before I knew it, I was playing at UT and then winning the state championship. So, but the fame and everything that came with it was love, but it's the meaning of like what it did for our community.
Right.
Yeah,
And seeing our community come to the game. That's what it was about.
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
For y'all that don't know, that is the only men's basketball state championship North Shore has ever seen won.
Yeah.
So man, everybody was at them games, man. I was at them. I was turned up.
No, you feel me?
Yeah, I was
No,
happy,
our
bro.
games was lit. It's packed side to side, no matter if we're playing the biggest game or the slightest game.
Yeah, definitely.
But you talk about like your sophomore year being your first year on varsity. When would you say your recruitment process like really started, and how big was AAU on that?
For sure. And I played with M&E Elite, which was a grassroots team that just like came together on the east side. Coach Mike ran the team and Coach Eric, but they gave me the keys to a ship. And that summer I had the keys to like build my confidence instead of playing on the AAU team where I had to sit the bench and then question if I was good enough or if like, am I gonna get in the game? So that confidence in AAU brought like more like attention in the city, in the state, which helped my recruitment, but I didn't start getting recruited until after I won state. So I didn't get my first.
That makes sense.
I actually got my first offer for Sam Houston after AAU tournament in Pearland. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So you know what I'm saying?
Should have came, man.
Yeah, you feel me? Yeah. But now the recruitment process was like, it was a struggle because I tore my ACL. I had like a few bigger schools, like I would say mid-major, high major, like Temple, American Athletic Conference, those kind of like Tier B conferences outside of Power 5. They necessarily didn't offer me, but they were recruiting me heavy.
Yeah.
And I started playing AAU, started getting like notoriety and everything like that nationally, and then tear my ACL against the Houston Hoop. So it's like, that was the game that was supposed to like take me to the next level, put me at a like higher ranking. But everything happens for a reason, and it circled back that Rice was the only school that kept their offer. So I committed to Rice, and great staff, unbelievable opportunity. But through my rehab process, going into my senior year, the most interesting thing happened at SMU. So a kid pulled and decommitted right before I was about to commit or just like sign to Rice. So like SMU, Larry Brown flew down to the east side, bro, had dinner at my home, watched me practice, and I wasn't even practicing. So for a Hall of Fame coach to come down and show that much love, it was just like a no-brainer just to sign to SMU after that.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Everything happens for a reason, bro.
Because
That's amazing.
that recruitment process is like a weird thing, and people don't know. Like for everybody that hasn't went through the recruitment process, a lot of those offers that you be posting at the beginning, when it come down to signing day, it's really, like you could say, it's a numbers game.
If they still want you at the end of the day.
If a lot of people committed already, they have no room for you. So in reality, you had 10 offers on paper, but you really only had like 2 or 3 committable.
Exactly.
3 of them, exactly, yeah.
Because they play that role where it's, they offer you, but they know what the guy that they want. Yeah. But they kind of just putting that offer out there so somebody else doesn't offer you or something like that.
Yeah, like a just in case.
Yeah.
So, just like that in football, man. Just like that, yeah.
But you just got to play the game too, and just understand the process. But that's what you got to teach athletes now is like be marketable and be sellable to these schools and not necessarily just be an athlete. You know what I'm saying? And just like bring more to the table, because I'm telling you, that's what schools and opportunities, that's what they're going to open up once you really make yourself marketable.
Yeah, you got to use the school. Don't let the school use you.
100%.
Definitely, man.
You talk about having to miss your senior year, like due to tearing your ACL. Talk about that, like mentally, because I know a lot of people know the physical aspect of having an injury, but being that young and having a significant injury of that significance. Yeah. Talk about that, like mentally, like how did you handle that at that young of an age, and who was in your like corner, like to keep you motivated and keep you going?
100%, man. I to be 17 years old on the cusp of greatness, of like doing something big, we were gonna go back to back for sure. Yeah. But the whole process, I toured in June in the summer. So my whole summer was closed off, had surgery, rehabbing. So you're going to your senior year, and you're not like having fun that summer. You're more focused on like the rehab process and trying to get your body right and trying to see if you're going to play. So that was the first thing, is like I couldn't have fun. I couldn't finish like my high school career. I couldn't like move around like I wanted to. So that's played a mental role on me. But the severity of the injury and the complications that came with the ACL injury at that age, not really having all the resources that you have in college, you're kind of just moving around trying to make things work, trying to get information from here. You got your rehab place. So just that push and pull was a stressor, and it's your first time going through it. Yeah. So you don't have any like, you don't really know how to really think about it or what is the right process to it. But what's honestly funny is that ACL injury I came back the strongest from, my first one, just based off of missing my senior year, taking the time, going a year and a half before I played a full game. And that time and that process of healing is what made it the best. You know what I'm saying? Made good out of a bad situation. But the mental toll, I mean, it's really neither here nor there. It makes you grow up quicker. You know, adversity makes you grow up quicker. Yeah.
Pat, don't you got like a similar situation? You told yours, but like football.
What's crazy, I was thinking that the whole time you talking, like, man, I'm relating so much to that. Like, that ACL missing your whole senior year is just like, you do got to wake up quick and just handle that adversity. And just saying like how you was able to bounce back and go to college, that go into my next question. Like, I remember my first game in college, like from the ACL tear, missing my senior year as well. Like, it was a little goosebumps, but it was also more like, I'm ready to kill something.
Exactly.
Like how was that for like your first game? Like, was it more like, man, I got to show them like, hey, all these boys forgot about me. Like, it's time to. Yeah. Like, how was that for you more?
Because that's what's funny. Off my first game back in college was against Sam Houston State.
Very ironic.
You know what I'm saying?
Life work.
But now I remember that game is like, the process was like, okay, yeah, I do got something to prove. But I've always been the guy that's been like, man, whatever comes out of this situation, I'm already prepped. Right. So it's like, just go experience it. And I feel like, you know what I'm saying, I made 2 threes, had a dunk, you know what I'm saying, made some free throws, just like got in the flow of the game, playing as a freshman at a high level. So for me, it was just like, man, as much as I like want to like just go out here and just go hard, go crazy, I'm already am. You know what I'm saying? I'm just experiencing this. But I did have a chip on my shoulder more than anybody else on that court, just based on all the rehab, the mental stress, and just what it takes to like go away from the game, go backwards, and then have to rebuild yourself up. And you're still on the same playing field as everybody else. So that's what it came down to.
So did y'all win that game against my school?
Yeah, we
Damn. All right, so let me go ahead and transition into my question then, since they beat my school. So, man, how was, like, being a college athlete? Like, how did you balance between the studies, you know, practice, and then also social life? So, like, take us in the day of the life of...
the transition to Dallas was cool. Like, SMU was a great situation. They made it easy to like get acclimated from a tutoring standpoint, academic standpoint, but the school was hard. The load of like classwork, the time classes, but the best part was the school was small. So like your classes were probably like 10 to 20 people maybe.
SMU is a private school?
Oh yeah, it's a private school. So 10 to 20 people per class, simple. So you had what you needed as long as you showed up to class, create relationships with your professors, and show up when you can, you're good.
That's true.
So school became easy after a point. I went in as a mechanical engineer, but I ended up transitioning my major into sport performance and leadership and behaviors and stuff like that, going towards the like sports side. But I wanted to be a mechanical engineer, and there's still ways that I can learn to be that. But I'm glad I went the route because it helped me with my ACL injuries to like keep furthering my basketball career. But campus life, like, you know, the college life, parties, distractions, all that, women, like all that stuff comes with being a high level player.
Exactly.
But how do you manage it? You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I went into it with the right mindset. But there is things that catch you off guard. There's experiences that you don't see coming out of high school. And going to a PWI, like, it's a culture shock.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, I'm living in Highland Park, you know what I'm saying? And just, like, having to maneuver there. But the travel, playing at a high level, coming in late, like 3 a.m., having to go to 8 a.m. class, that's just like it's like a pot of gumbo. College ball and college sports is just a pot of gumbo. Like, you got to shower, get to class, and eat in 10 minutes.
Definitely. Hey, we don't talk about that, but that is
I know people get it done. Yeah, people say we got a free offer, man. There's a lot of stuff come with it, though, man.
It's a whole life adjustment,
man. But no, it's that helps you in life. Like, it changes your whole perspective of like time. It gives you a reason like to get up. And you have a purpose every day. So, yeah, I think I balance it well. But as long as you don't like get caught up in the distractions and the fame and like get lost in the sauce, you're gonna be good. So yeah.
But I know you talk about that, but like, given the amount of success y'all was seeing at SMU during the years you were there specifically.
So you want the ins and outs?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you though, because look, Dallas, Texas, that's the thing. SMU, we couldn't party on campus. You couldn't really live a life you wanted to. But like my sophomore year, where we won 30 games. So you're coming into every game thinking like, all right, you're not thinking it's a dub, but you're so on a roll. Yeah. It's sold out every night. Like the Mavs were coming to watch us play. So think about that.
That's crazy.
So it's like our ticket was the show of the town.
Definitely.
So after the games, you know what I'm saying, you either going back to the crib, chilling, depending on how like what your next day looks like. But at the same time, like you're in the city of Dallas. So like everybody knows you. Like everything's hot. You getting in and move every spot. You getting in every club. Like, and that is that life and like living that lifestyle, traveling, like playing ball at high level, like having women, like all that stuff. Like you experience it and you feel it and you understand it. But at the time you have to be present and understand like that's a part of your journey.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because all those things were, if I would have managed it better or managed it different, this could have happened or this could have happened. But you got to be okay with your experience. But bro, Dallas is like, to be winning, living, and like having that lifestyle, bro, you can't ask for nothing different. And we chartered every flight to game. So like,
damn, man,
you living like a pro while in college. So I tell people that's why I retired early, which we're going to talk about in a second. Is because like I was living like a pro at 18. Like I'm playing for a pro coach. You know what I'm saying? So like it's just a different lifestyle, but man, Dallas will forever be home. Just the process of just like being a star. You experience it, you live in it, and it's there and it's gone, but you can't have it forever.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about.
We kind of hit on that on the first show, like it being in a college environment and like a major city, it'll kind of give you like a false sense of success. Like even though it's a lot more, even though you living in like a comfortable, that's what it is. It's comfortability.
Exactly.
Yeah, like you get real comfortable being in your setting, it's not a bad setting.
Right on, exactly, bro. And that's all I feel like I did a good job, but you just can't get too much, get a load of yourself. And like getting injured my junior year kind of slowed me down a little bit, because I ain't gonna lie, like I was balancing life well, but coming off a 30-win season, going into your junior year, like I started to get the notoriety, like Draft Express, all this stuff. Like I'm trending first round, late second round. Like as a 21-year-old, you're on the cusp of making millions of dollars. Like all that stuff, you have to be able to manage your emotions. You know what I'm saying? You got the lifestyle, you got the money, you got the opportunities, like you got the physique. You can make everything happen, but life will humble you. You know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't say like I went over the board, but I would say like I did have an ego in it. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta have it. If you was gonna be a star, if you're gonna be that, if you're gonna play that role, you gotta have an ego. You gotta have pride. You gotta build that up. But I played the right way, bro. I don't have no regrets.
That's all I was just gonna say. You wouldn't change nothing. That's all that matters. So would you say like the injuries themselves kind of caused you to step away from the game, or was it the mental bearing of the injuries? Because people don't know about that aspect. Yeah.
So to give you a snapshot of it, ACL in 2014, 2018, 2020, 2021. So the last two ACLs, 2020, 2021, during COVID. So it was just a weird situation, like trying to like rehab, get back, the time to play, that type deal.
Well, I don't mean to cut you off. Was it all the four? Was they all on the same?
All on the left leg.
Oh,
yeah, all left leg. But you start to see just like the correlation through each surgery. And my bad, like I lost my train of thought.
That's all, man.
Ask that question one more time.
I was saying, was it like the actual injury itself, or was it the mental bearing
Gotcha.
of the
Yeah.
injury that caused you to step away from the game?
Yeah, it wasn't the injuries, because I had like 12 actual injuries on this knee.
Damn. 12.
So
So not just
yeah,
the damn.
12 injuries like bone bruises,
Yeah.
dislocations, all that type of stuff. Yeah, it's been a journey, but it's the mental load of like going down, getting back up,
Yeah.
falling down again, getting back up, and I knew like I would get to a point where it would be the last time I would get back up. I'm gonna end up on top.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I eventually had to make the right decision, but it's definitely the mental load more than anything. The mental load and how it takes you out of a normal lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? And I just wanted to learn the right information to make sure that I stay healthy, and then just go from there. But build the life that I want. But the injuries, man, the mental load causes more problems to your life than you are even aware of, and how you treat people, how you are.
And then like the way, my bad.
No,
like,
go ahead,
to
you
not,
good.
to not cut you off.
No, good.
But like the way you toured, because you declared your junior year and you toured trying to train and prep for like
Yep.
to go to the draft.
That's a-
Yep.
Like that's the same situation you was just in high school, but now it's the same thing going to the pros.
But exactly, you start to see correlations. Like I said earlier, like each surgery was like, all right, you do something big, and then something like you get hurt, okay, or like you this close, or then you get hurt. So like, for me, it started to realize you're never like, it wasn't made for me to like reach something. It was just about the ongoing process of learning what it takes to go through adversity,
Right.
and then like figure out how to like master that. Like, so if anything hits me, like I know how to manage myself.
Exactly.
I know how to manage my emotions. I'm not gonna let something physical like control my life, my relationships, like my you know what I'm saying, just my network, just anything around me. I have to keep that physical with the physical. And that's what I didn't have my first few surgeries. Was like I was getting beat up so bad mentally that I was turning to different things or turning to vices to fill voids, you know what I'm saying, that just because I didn't have the game or I couldn't use my body, then I would have to turn to other things, you know what I'm saying, just to kind of make myself feel like I'm doing something.
Yeah, I know.
So,
What you're talking about, man. That's tough.
but yeah, man.
Go ahead, Pat.
Yeah, all right. Now, just to jump forward a little bit, like, can you kind of dive into like more like the G League, like for people that's out there that really don't really understand it? Like, I know I'm still a little lost with it. Like, how does that work? Like, what are your chances, honestly, of just really getting pulled up from that? Like,
So, to start on the front end, after I finished school, COVID hit 2019, so I didn't play and start training again until 2023. So last year, 2023. So I was off for like 3 years. I had opportunity to work out for Portland. They invited me to G League training camp, and I walked in and they told me like, you literally have a like less than a 1% chance of making the team. Like,
Got the job?
yeah, bro.
Oh, but I know that.
Dang.
That snaps something.
Like,
Like,
off the top,
what? You
bro.
gonna tell me what?
I had a one-way flight to Portland, and I was like, I gotta make something happen to this. You know what I'm saying? And luckily, like, I spent 13 nights in that hotel, just like going to sleep. Like, hopefully, I don't wake up with that text. Like, you know what I'm saying? Come, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they come knock on that
For real, bro. Come on, you know what I'm saying? But nah, made the team. Beat like 5 guys out. Played ball, and eventually played a good season. Played a healthy season, and but to your point, Pat, like your odds of making and getting into the G League is very slim. But at the same time, of getting called up, it is also very slim. But there is a way. Like a few months ago, like I was in the spot in the arena, in the opportunity to receive and like to take advantage of the opportunity of getting a call up, or like, you know what I'm saying, or being that, just being aware that like it's there. You know what I'm saying? And I had hurdles in the season. Like I had a couple injuries, had a concussion, but overall played a healthy season. But you see guys throughout the league, like throughout the G League, throughout the season, get called up, and it tells you like about NBA basketball and like what type of player you need to be, how you need to develop, and every guy that earned a call up this year deserved a call up, and either played multiple leagues in the G League and worked themselves up. But that whole time, I was just observing how athletes and people can take advantage of opportunities in that space if you do the right things and you place yourself in the right situation. But man, it's real money up there. Like, it's real money, it's real opportunity. As long as you take care of your body, you do the right things, and you put yourself in the right position, man, you just got to have the right team around you. But Portland and Rip City, man, they forever have my heart, and they gave me opportunity that nobody else would ever gave me. And just for me to even be in the arena, in the space, to even put on a jersey and play professional basketball,
man,
bro.
I know.
Come on, bro. I've had 4 knee surgery, 4 ACLs,
that's
bro.
big,
Like,
man, real talk.
so like
there,
for me,
We're going to get on that
Yeah.
talk a little bit later, though,
Yeah.
about that money, because that
Yeah,
basketball.
no.
That's
what I'm saying.
Yeah, real talk. So, like, talking about overseas and everything, man. So, what
He's talking about G League.
Oh, G League, I'm sure. I'm my fault.
Yeah,
Talking about G League,
It's there, though.
Yeah, so
put
like,
some
man,
respect on it.
what about like what made you retire, man? What made you think that like you did you wake up one morning and was like, man, I'm done with it, or was there always a plan that you was gonna retire?
So I knew, like, at the beginning of the season, going into training camp, like, there was opportunity. Like, I'm just seeing what this experience does for me. Like, I would have gratitude to even be playing again,
Exactly.
like, to rehab and get myself back into space. So I knew, like, this would be my 1 year to try. So, like, whatever happens this year, I'm happy with. And to play a full season, towards the end of the season, I started to see my body, like, not necessarily get tired, but get fatigued. Obviously, after a 5-month season, you start to feel stuff. But after the season ended, I had a week off, took my body, like, rested, and then I trained for like a week at like a high level, and I wanted to test my body to like almost a state of overload to see, like, and see if I could manage another season, like going into off season.
Yeah.
So the one thing was about my body. Will it last, or is it smart to like manage it just healthy wise? Is it smart for me to keep running up and down a basketball court, cutting, putting that stress on my body? I have arthritis in my back. I have a herniated disc in my back. People don't know this. I have arthritis in both of my knees. So it's like what I was able to do this past year was remarkable.
Hey, man, you still young,
bro,
man.
and I'm 27.
Damn,
so
man.
I have to do it and make the right decision for me and my family in the future. Like, I want to be able to move, and now I want to devote my time to movement. Like, how do I move my body correctly? And like, how do I take care of my body so it has longevity? But yeah, I decided to retire because it was like I was gonna be chasing something that didn't exist. Like, if it's money, it's millions of ways to make money.
Yeah, dude.
If it's like fame, you gotta let your ego go at some point.
Yeah.
Like, and the physical body, like, you need your body, and that playing at that level with the trauma my body's already like seen. Nah, bro. And then it came down to relationships. Like, I saw how hard it was to be a pro and have healthy relationships.
Yeah.
Like, intimate relationships, family relationships. You don't get to see people. You can't really have friends. You're always on a plane, schedule and all that stuff. So a lot of things like came down to like, man, I want to see a different experience.
Yeah.
Kind of want to slow down and build my life.
I'm glad you hit on that, because a lot of people don't know about that though. Like, just like how you said that, like, more say, just like the life of being a pro. Like how you said, like, just time management, like being with your family and all that. Like, a lot of people just think, oh yeah, they want to go pro and all that, but
Bro.
you're gonna miss out like on a
Yeah,
lot of
you
stuff.
We
like,
kind
you
of hit
know,
on that like on the
time,
first
they miss out on
episode. Like, you
birthdays.
really gotta like have a different love for it, and
Yeah.
it's not like what a lot of people realize of going through the process. Like, when it gets real to like to a point like where you got to make a decision, you're going to have to ask yourself, do you really love playing that sport that much take something else away?
That's what it was about.
Like, what am I willing to give?
Yes.
And you found out, like, in that process, you be like, But that's what, like you said, that's what makes you respect a lot of them people that go through that process and they make it. You're like, hey, I don't take nothing away from you.
You deserve everything you're doing.
For me, that's what I hit my breaking point at.
I'm a sacrifice. And that's what I realized. I was like, man, I've been giving up and putting so much time into like these injuries, getting healthy, trying to play pro, like trying to give myself an opportunity that was taken away from me. Like, it was almost like I was just gonna keep chasing that when I've already experienced it. But my sister's like, she's having a kid this year, and like my grandma and my family, like there's people like in the family that get older. Like I want to be there. Like my cousins are graduating, and like it's like when I left, y'all were 10, 11 years old. Now y'all graduate, so it's like it came down to a point to me, and like wanting to like move forward, like with my girlfriend, and just like having that space, bro. Like I'm like dialed in on building a life, and basketball literally started. And if I'm gonna be real, it was fun, but it was a way to get me out. Exactly. So when you use that, you're using that as that survival mode. You're using that as something to get you out of your experience. So once I realized that, like, I use the game, like I'm about to have 2 degrees from SMU, like I have an unbelievable network, like now create, like the game used and got you out of your situation. Now create. Exactly. Like now this is the fun part. This is where you become creative. This is where you like take things to the next level. And now you don't have something physical demanding taking you away, you know what I'm saying, from like that creativity.
Just like what we said earlier, use the game, don't let the game use you.
100%.
Exactly.
100%.
For sure.
Yeah, because if you think about it, like the first time you stepped away from the game, you established 2 hell of a businesses. You asked me, JNF Elite Basketball and 1-0. So talk about like your plans with that now that you have that free time to actually dive 100% into that. Like, what are your plans going forward?
So I'm rebranding. I'm basically blending that together. So 1-0 Apparel did really well in 2019 and during COVID. But once I had the surgeries, I couldn't put the time and energy into it. But my training and my clients, the performance training, going to be building mental performance training programs, and then obviously the basketball skills training and in that space, working with high school, younger kids, professionals, college athletes. Like I'm basically building the training platform and the 1-0, the brand. So it's just basically gonna be 1-0 basketball, and we're basically creating the brand to like blend research and player development. So like we're gonna be doing a lot of research about like cognitive science, emotional intelligence, like how these things help or hurt performance. And then we're gonna like be building programs to like literally train athletes. So it's like using the science, using the data, basically like lab type work to basically build programs and train people for longevity, for consistency, confidence, all that type of stuff. That's not talked about. Like you can put cones on the court, but the brand that I'm trying to build around basketball is like, how do we think the game? How do we look at it like a art and canvas? You know, how can we like draw and create and be like, you see Kyrie like and Luke and all these guys like
that's art.
They're not. That's an art, bro. It's not just like it's a feel. And even Anthony Edwards, like his confidence and at a young age to take over the league, it's like you gotta build that, and like that's the end of the day. So, but yeah, no, that's how I'm looking at everything.
Hey, I need a shirt too, man. Them shirts was hard.
Once I kind of get into my master's program and get everything rolling, 1-0 is kind of gonna be pushing and locked and loaded for July. We will be doing a basketball camp on the east side, East Houston basketball clinic on the 29th of June. So we'll be doing this morning session and an afternoon session, but more information will be talked about. But we're just trying to rebuild like and teach like the things that we've learned from like traveling, moving around, different experiences, and let these kids see that and feel that. To let them know that they can get out their situation.
Yeah, I like that, man, for sure. So yeah, whenever you give us the shirt, man, we're gonna hang it up on the wall.
Easy.
Yeah,
No,
for sure.
Hey, but following off of what you just said though, are you more kind of in that lane per se, like where it's just like training and building the athlete, or would you go into like the real coaching? Like, would you go into the college level or like NBA level or something like that to coach basketball? Or is it more like you on the
I had an opportunity to be a grad assistant at SMU for like half a season, and as much as I love that space and the opportunities that are in that space, I don't believe I'm a coach like on court. Like, I don't think I'm that space. I'm
kind of hit on that though, because I know what you're trying to say.
You know what I'm saying?
But like, it's people that go through that similar thing, but they accidentally choose coaching.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's what because there's no lane.
Exactly.
And that's what I'm trying to create and talk about. It's like there's another lane of coaching, but it's not necessarily the traditional way. You know what I'm saying? And the opportunities that I have and that I see within like entrepreneurship, like my experiences and everything that I've learned, and using my master's program and taking advantage of SMU and like using that space to create things. Yeah. I think that's more of the route that I'm going, is kind of like the entrepreneur space with basketball. And like, if I was to go corporate with basketball, be NBA office. Like, my eventual goal is to be a GM of a team, even own a team like one day, but for sure be a GM. Just like a leadership position within sports, and specifically basketball. And like, that's more down the line. But right now I'm focused on development, performance, building this facility, and like creating a lab where people of our color can get the same resources, the same training, get data, like get performance, and get like teaching to like stay healthy and like maximize their, like, we already do this stuff with, you know what I'm saying? Like, speed and strength ain't no joke. You know what I'm saying? But like, think about if you could save a couple of those guys, get the ACL tear, if we just had the right information. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that those coaches are doing anything, because North Shore does a great job, but there's always ways to enhance and get better. And that's where I'm trying to come in at a young age. Like, strike while the iron's hot. I have a story. Let me see how I can change the game and manipulate the game. But eventually want to go down that kind of corporate NBA office route.
100% like agree with you on that though, because like in my freshman year of college, that was the main thing I noticed coming from the east side to college. A lot of these guys was like doing advanced training, like the dudes that came from private schools and all that, like they was already doing that aspect of the game. Bro, they just didn't have like the dog aspect. But I'm not saying all of them, but like that was the part they was missing.
Yep, exactly. And that's like what I was thankful for, is like, shoot, you got to get it how you live. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, the days in the summer of speed and strength. Like, I did a summer of speed and strength, and like, you know, the day waking up at 5 a.m. You going to the Y after you walk into Walgreens, you just get some Gatorade. Arizona, and then you laid out Arizona, you laid out like you just in the gym. But just the whole, like, the grind, like, and like, you got guys around you that's hungry too, that's trying to get out their situation, trying to do better. So once I realized that we had that on the east side, I'm like, bro, if you add that dog that we got on the east with actual information and knowledge, and we got the funding on the east. We won 6 state championships in 6 years. So it's like, you bring funding, you bring that dog and the athletes, and you bring the knowledge. Bro,
that's something special.
I'm trying to tell you. So that's what I'm trying to like create, and I die about it because I know the value and numbers. Like, I could try to keep playing basketball for 10 more years. That's 10 years that I could have invested in 1,000 kids. That's gonna grow up. That's gonna invest into 10,000 kids. So by the time I die, I want to be like, I touch millions of people.
It's about living a legacy, like you said.
Bro, I'm gonna keep it a being. Like, I didn't touched bread, I done lost bread,
That
and like
come and
and
go.
that come and go, and like you really like start to see like why you're here, and it's just like go every day, do your purpose, do your job, and I had tough days of like, bro, what do I really want to do outside of sports? Like, I don't want to just go do this, I want to go do that, like, and I had the time, like, and that's when I retired. I was like, bro, I can speak, I got people skills, like, I love sports, I know how to create, like, be in a leadership position, and don't be afraid to dream. Like, yeah, I want to own an NBA team because I know what I can do for that city. I know what I can do for those communities, those players, those athletes. I know how to sell tickets. I know what fans want, fan engagement. Like, bro, there's like, why don't you dream that high?
Exactly, man.
So,
Damn,
yeah.
you motivating me right
Nah,
now.
but
man.
like
that-
everything you just hit on.
Well, I swear, I'm like, you should be a
Yeah,
motivator.
yeah.
that's what we built. That's why I'm glad y'all gave me the space to talk and tell my story, because I just hope it spreads the right way. But the game, the sport, use it. Don't let it use you.
Exactly.
I'm trying to tell you.
I feel like that's why we made this podcast though, like because I feel like coming out of sports, we're so spoon fed for our whole life.
Yeah.
And when it's finally time to like cut it loose, a lot of us be so scared. Like
Bro,
but you don't even know you're so scared because so you'll try to hold on, prolong it for so long when it's really not even giving back to you as much as you want it to give back to you.
Exactly.
And
yeah.
you actually got to make a real life choice and like, what is it that I want to do?
Yeah.
You spent 20 years, because think about it, you playing basketball and football, you playing that since yay high. So you spent 20 plus years.
You spending your whole life, bro.
Bro,
Yeah,
your
chasing
whole
a dream
Your
that's
whole
not
life.
chasing
Chasing
you.
one thing.
Yeah.
Bro, I done been out the game for 3-4 days. Like, even when I was out the game in 2019, 2021, I was still in the game because I was trying to get healthy.
Yeah.
But, like, it's been 3-4 days where I've been out the game and I ain't been thinking about it. I've been normal. I've just been eating how I want. Just, like, I ain't been working out. I've just been natural, just kind of been chilling.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, like, eventually, like, yeah, I'm gonna line back up and get, like, into my work and my regimen. But I'm like, I'm enjoying the freedom of not, like, having, like, that subconscious pressure to be great.
Exactly, yeah.
Like, physically or, like, performance-wise. Like, bro, I can just relax and just chill and just hang out and just be with the people I want to be around and just, you know what I'm saying, go to work, come back home.
The little
Boom.
things.
So, yep.
We've been feeling like that for going on, what, 2 years?
Yeah,
Yeah. And that's what, like, y'all look what y'all creating.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Y'all
Y'all
got
got
to
that.
use that part of your brain.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to show. Like, there's no way you're gonna get this done playing sports. And I'm sure, like, you've seen Pat, like, trying to balance all that. It's like you take so much pressure and mental load on trying to be great in performance. How you gonna perform in a podcast? How you gonna try to create? You don't have the energy to do that. I'm guaranteed the mental energy is gone.
Because you're focusing on
Yeah, because that takes a lot out of you.
Exactly.
Like that's why when people speak on athletes and they wasn't an athlete, I kind of can't respect it because being an athlete to me is a full-time job in general.
Yeah,
Because if you think about it, that's more than 8 hours a day.
Exactly.
Because you're there, like even when you clock out of facility, that's your free time.
Yep.
Like spending it on that.
You got to go watch film or something. You know,
Man,
do some
make
extra
some money.
stuff. Go study about the practice. So it's like you moving, doing the same every day. So
That's real, bro. Yeah, man.
So what message would you give to like a kid or a younger person watching this podcast, kind of like experiencing like the same thing you experienced, and like you too, Pat, like because y'all both, like Pat, you was committed to Memphis, tore your ACL, and end up having to go TSU. So what message would y'all give to a young adult going through that same experience and want to like just give up?
Pat, you can go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, sure. My biggest thing is more say just you gotta find your will and your purpose. Like that's probably the hardest time. I probably would say not the hardest time, but like he said earlier, like as a 17-year-old, that's probably the hardest adversity you will go through kind of in life. So it's just more say like finding that still drive and just realizing like life is bigger like than just that sport or whatever it is might say that you're doing, like whatever avenue that you're in. Like when I first tore my ACL, like I thought it was over with. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like I'm like, man, forget football, period. And it's crazy. I still had like TSU was still on the table and all that, and it was more say like, man, I'm off of it. Like it was just the people. I would say really the people that's in your background too. Make sure you have a strong like background of people that's gonna still like support you. Like my mom and like my sister, that's a big backbone for me. Like that was just constantly like, nah, get up, bro, get up, bro, get up. Like go put in that work still. Like go to rehab. Like because like he said, it's not like college. Like think about it, college is like a business. Like they gonna make sure they do what they supposed to do to get you through. Kind of more say like, especially if you're on scholarship. Like high school is not like that. Like you hurt, it's more say like you gotta have that own will to say like, hey, I'm gonna get through this. And I'll just say like for the younger person, like, hey, just keep going. Don't feel like it's never like you done. Like, cause hey, shoot, me fighting through, like I got to see like it prepared me for a man. Like stuff I go through now is just like, man, you've been through this before. Like you feel me? Just keep going. Resilience. That's what I would say. Like for somebody younger, like just keep going.
And I'll tackle on to that, man. And I don't think it's too young to do this, but literally it's a simple thing. Words. I'd say like our senses are the most important things. Our senses create our reality. So if we can like get our kids to understand that like what they hear, what they see, what they say, the food they eat, and like smell plays a big part in everything too, but that's in your part of your environment. But if you can create the right environment, and even if you don't have the best environment, how can you go find the spaces that are gonna like help you elevate? You know what I'm saying? And like on the east side, it's not the it's the easiest thing to fall into something wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
You can go this route, but like, why did we choose the route we chose? Because we sought out spaces and opportunities and environments and stayed around environments that like would put us in a better situation. So it's like, for me, it's like taking advantage of the senses, and like as much as like we love the rap music and like gets you going, this is what I learned with sports too. Like we listen to that rap music because of the 808 beats, and like it gets us going. It gets us like, it gives us that animal nature. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just how it is. Yeah. But then I started to realize like I was taking that shit into real life. Excuse me. Like I was like treating my moms. I'm like, hold on, let me tighten up. Like
that's correct.
But just to go back to like what we would tell these kids to like be successful is like manage it. Manage like how much you're being in bad spaces or good spaces, vice versa, to give yourself a true opportunity, because you'll never know if you're not aware of just like the spaces that are keeping you back. You know what I'm saying? So
basically just chase something bigger than you.
Exactly. You may not see it, bro. You may not see it, bro. I was 5'9" as a freshman. 5'9" as a freshman.
Hey, chill out. Yeah. That's how high now.
That's my max, I stand up.
That's my everyday height.
It's cool, though. It's cool. It's cool, though.
Everything minus the 5'9".
Hey, we gotta edit that.
I got both turns.
You see the way we look.
Hey, hold on.
Oh, what's that? 5'9".
Hey, no, but grew to 6'5", but I couldn't see the vision. I mean, like I saw the vision, but it wasn't real. But like, I just stayed around basketball, and it gave me an opportunity to like stretch a little bit. Obviously, I'm dealing with the pains now, but I'm blessed. Like that's what come with it. So
let me go ahead. Let me ask me a question, man. So, what's your top 5 NBA players you'll have on your team?
Man, I got asked this a couple months
Dream
ago.
team.
I want to know
anybody.
Who is your top 5?
Mine gonna be different for sure. Yeah. Are we going at the point? Yeah. We going at the point?
Build your team. You the coach. Now you the GM. You the GM.
Start from the 5. Start from the 5. Like,
Okay. Start from the 5. Yeah.
So all NBA, or we talking about right now?
Anybody.
Talk about who is your top
Michael
5.
Jordan and all.
Who you picking on your 5 team right now?
Ooh. At the point, I'm going T-Mac.
I said that last time. They ain't
I'm going
agree.
T-Mac at the point. All right.
Ooh, that boy said team.
T-Mac at the point. I'm going MJ at the 2.
Okay.
I'm adding Kobe at the 3. I'm going double combo guards. Okay.
So who your big man?
I'm going Tim Duncan at the 4.
I respect that.
Going Tim Duncan at the 4. I'm very fundamental.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's
Good job, man. We
fundamental.
win championships. And then at the 5, bruh, I gotta go with Shaq, bro.
Hey, ooh, boy, see, shake him out. Yeah.
Gotta go. Shaq too dominant.
5 is
Shaq and I love the double big actions.
Yeah.
You got Tim Duncan rolling to the block, hit him with the block, throw the lob to over with. You got Kobe spacing. Kobe gonna. And we got 2 rebounders. MJ coming down the lane. You got a tall point guard.
I like that.
If we building a team, yeah, I'm going with that, bro.
I like
For sure.
that. Right.
Well, shoot, we don't need to take your whole day,
On me.
but
And that's a real
on me.
hooper lineup right
go
there.
ahead and finish it off and end the podcast. Since we just now starting off,
Yeah.
if you could see anybody on this podcast on the next show, who would it be? And you would have to kind of help us to get them on.
Yeah, man. Man, I want to get a couple people on. One of my guys, the DA, that we got to get doing.
Definitely.
Because I seen Dorrance like grow as a man and individually, like now being a father, like seeing him battle and just go through like the ins and outs of being a pro football player and taking on those reins. I think his story is very valuable. And then also like Eric Monroe, like
Yeah. My boy.
what he's doing and all of a sudden transitioning from sport, like he's grinding, he's learning, you know what I'm saying? I'll be talking to him. But those 2 guys, and then you got to get a female on there. We got Chastity on here.
Yeah, we gonna handle that. We gotta read it.
But if not Chastity, like I even think like Logan, she went into like volleyball coaching, and coaching at North Shore at alma mater. So like I think that's an experience to like hear about. But yeah, no, I think those are some good people that's been in our circle. Yeah. And anybody that like I think of, any pros, like guys that like I played with, like Shake Milton that plays with the New York Knicks. She's ever down here in Houston. I'll see if he's open to it. Okay. And I play with a lot of guys that'll be down here that play with Portland, to kind of like tell their journey too. They're younger guys, but they got a journey too. And then yeah, but shoot, let's grow this however I can help, bro. But appreciate y'all giving me a platform to tell my story. Appreciate BigBiddne. Gotta have it. Finna build the brand. Y'all know the deal, man. Y'all do.
Y'all check out the merch and everything.
Yeah.
And this
appreciate you, Pat.
It's a good kickoff to the first interview episode of the BigBiddne Podcast. And just like that, we gone.
All right,
Easy.
folks.
Appreciate y'all.